For thousands of years, humanity has wondered how the universe began. Long before telescopes, long before modern science, an ancient text opened with a remarkable statement. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. But what if these ancient words describe something that science would only discover thousands of years later? Could Genesis and the Big Bang be describing the same moment in the history of the universe? Since the earliest moments of civilization, humanity has looked at the sky and asked the same question. How did everything begin? Where did the stars, the galaxies, and the universe itself come from? Curiously, one of the oldest texts in human history begins with exactly this question. The book of Genesis, written thousands of years ago, opens with a simple but deeply mysterious sentence. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. For centuries this statement was understood purely as a religious declaration. But when we compare it with discoveries from modern science, something surprising begins to emerge. What if this ancient text is symbolically describing the birth of the universe itself? The first expression in Genesis is extremely important. In the beginning. This phrase suggests something very specific. The universe had a starting point. For a long time, many scientists believed the universe was eternal and unchanging. But in the 20th century that view changed dramatically. Modern cosmology began pointing toward an extraordinary event that gave birth to the universe. This event became known as the Big Bang. According to scientists, about 13.8 billion years ago the entire universe was concentrated in an extremely hot and dense state. In that moment, space, matter, energy, and even time itself began to exist. Soon after, the biblical text states, God created the heavens. In ancient language, the word heavens often referred to the firmament, the cosmos, the vast space where the stars exist. Today we know that space is not simply an empty, static void. Since the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding. Entire galaxies are moving away from each other as the fabric of space continues to stretch. In modern physics, space and time form a single structure called spacetime. So when the universe was born, space itself came into existence. The third part of the verse says, and the earth. In this context, the word earth can be interpreted as the physical matter of the universe. Shortly after the Big Bang, the cosmos was mostly composed of extremely intense energy. As the universe expanded and cooled, this energy began transforming into fundamental particles. These particles formed the first atoms, mainly hydrogen and helium. Those atoms would later become the basic building blocks for stars, galaxies, and eventually planets. Soon after, the biblical text describes the initial state of creation with an intriguing sentence. The earth was without form and void. Interestingly, this description closely resembles what science says about the early universe. In the first stages after the birth of the cosmos, there were no stars, planets, or galaxies. The universe consisted mainly of particles, primordial gas, and radiation. It was a disorganized cosmos, without defined structures. Only much later would the first large cosmic formations begin to appear. After the first moments of cosmic creation, the universe entered a peculiar period in its history. A period scientists call the Cosmic Dark Ages. During this time, the cosmos still had no stars or galaxies capable of producing life. Space was filled mainly with hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements in nature. It was a silent universe, dark and seemingly empty. Interestingly, this picture echoes the ancient description in Genesis, when it says the earth was formless and void, surrounded by darkness. But this state would not last forever. Over millions of years, gravity slowly began gathering enormous clouds of gas spread throughout the universe. These clouds started collapsing under their own weight, increasing their temperature and pressure. Until something extraordinary happened. The first stars were born. And for the first time, light illuminated the cosmos. For many, it is impossible not to recall the famous words of Genesis. And God said, "Let there be light." The birth of the first stars marked a new chapter in the history of the universe. Inside these cosmic giants, more complex elements began to form. Carbon, oxygen, iron and many other elements that today make up planets, oceans, and even life itself. Each star became a true cosmic furnace. A place where the matter of the universe was transformed and prepared for new forms of existence. Over time, stars began gathering into enormous cosmic structures. These structures became known as galaxies. Billions of stars rotating together in vast gravitational systems. Among them, one galaxy in particular would become our home. The Milky Way. And within it, billions of years later, a small blue planet called Earth would appear. Since that initial moment, the universe has never stopped evolving. Galaxies continue to form. Stars are born and eventually die. New planetary systems emerge throughout the cosmos. The universe has become a dynamic stage, constantly changing. A process that continues even today. Thousands of years before modern science, the authors of Genesis were already trying to describe the beginning of all things. Naturally, they had no telescopes or cosmological theories. Yet their words continue to echo through time. Words that speak of a beginning. Of light emerging from darkness. And of order rising out of chaos. Perhaps science and faith are, in their own ways, trying to answer the same fundamental question. How did everything begin? Science searches for answers through observation, calculation, and investigation. Faith seeks meaning in ancient texts and spiritual traditions. And perhaps, at the meeting point of these two perspectives, we may find a deeper understanding of the mystery of creation.